Okay, good morning everyone. So, for the following operations, if you are new for Unreal Engine, please follow my step. So first things, usually I prefer you guys activate your Unreal Engine through AP Game Launcher. So first things, I will open up this one, the AP Game Launcher. Go to Unreal Engines, go to your assets, your game assets right here. And if you have already installed your Unreal Engine, it will show up right here. For example, I have two different Unreal Engine in my laptop. One is 5.4, another one is 4.2. That's because some of my project was made out of 4.2, so I still keep this one. And for some latest tutorial, I use in 5.4 to do that. So now I have this one. So for now, I want you guys to activate the 5.4. Let's just click here and choosing activate. Once it starts to activate, it will temporarily turn off your Epic Game launchers. If you are new, if this is the first time for you to use an Unreal Engine, for the following instruction, just click OK and just follow the directions, follow the guideline to do the rest of operation. It will be fine. Okay, so now your Unreal Game Engine has been started. So the first part, you can see that's the recent project I have opened up before. For now, for you guys, because you are new, so probably there's nothing right here. So as far as you can see, for Unreal Engine, it supports many different type of objects. It supports for many different type of media. The first one for sure is game. Second one, film and video. Third one, architecture visualization. The fourth one, automobile and also some product design. And final thing, simulation, like the augmented reality or the virtual reality. So for this time, the things we're going to use is games. And I would suggest you guys using third person. I think that's the most common template for you guys can use. It's very important process. If you're choosing, probably if you want to go to do some top-down, first person, or maybe vehicle game, it will be different. So at the very beginning, please choose the right template so that you will have the right game mode. If you choose the wrong one, it will be a little bit hard for you to change that later. So now let's go to this one, third person. And for now, the things we're going to use is Blueprint. I think it's more friendly for the beginner rather than using C++. And the target platform, yes, we are going to use in desktop. We are not going to do mobile. We are going to use in desktop. And for the quality preset, please change this one to scalable here. And for the starter content, make sure you have checked that because it will give you some very useful resource that you can use. So finally, make sure you put your folder on the right path. So usually I will put my stuff right here in the RAY games. And I will call this one WS. First class. So that's this. That's it. Let's click create. So it will start to launch Unreal Engine and creating a new project. Okay. So now we have launched a new Unreal project. So there are a couple things you guys have to know. So the first thing is that Unreal is a very complicated software. It involves many different things. You can do animation inside. You can do game inside. You can use this one to develop your new media artwork inside. So with Unreal Game Engine, you can do many things. But for the workshop itself, we only give you some very fundamental stuff. So with all these fundamental technique, I think you can study the rest part by yourself. So that's it. Let's get started. Okay. So first thing is about how to navigate inside. Inside Unreal, the navigate way is very similar to Rhino and Maya. So first things, you can using your left mouse button to rotate. For sure, you can see the hotkey right here. And second thing, pan. Using your middle mouse button to pan your camera. And finally, zoom in and zoom out. For sure, just using your middle mouse button and you can zoom in and zoom out. Just using this way. You can using zoom in, zoom out, and rotate using right mouse button. And finally, using middle mouse button to pan your camera, just like this. And if you want to focus on a certain object, you can just simply click the target object and press F key on your keyboard. F key on your keyboard so that you can zoom in and focus on this target object. And then you can hold on your auto key and you can control your camera, rotate, follow this target object. Alright? And sometimes probably our scene is very, very huge. So we can speed up the move speed of our camera. How can we do that? Just go to here, camera speed. And you can speed up maybe into 8. So you will see, okay, so now it moves very, very fast. Usually I would suggest you just stay in 1 or 1.2, it will be fine. If your scene is not very large at all. And now let's go to the next step. So first things, let's do some introduction about the user interface. First things, this part, that's about the basic panel inside Unreal Game Engine. Like the scroll down list, you can save your file, export your object, it's all around here. And you can find a different detail panel on this scroll down list. And second part, for sure, there is some tool panel over here. Like if you want to place object, you can find them right here. And if you want to go to different kind of modeling and creative mode, then just choosing this one. Selection mode, landscape mode, foliage mode, mesh pen mode. That's for modeling and creating a scene design. And this part is very important. That's the blueprint editor. What's the meaning of blueprint? Basically, it's just like a graphic coding, and I will show you right here. Let's click the content drawer, and we can explain what's the meaning of content drawer later. Double click to third person, blueprints, BP, third person. And it will open up a new panel. And let's drag this one and put this one here. This is blueprint. So basically, blueprint is a graphic coding way inside Unreal Game Engine. And probably this is one of the most powerful graphic coding tools so far. Basically, even you don't have any coding basis, even you don't know anything about C++, you still can use in graphic coding blueprint to do some game project, a fully functional, complete game project. So take a look at this one. You can see that for the blueprint, basically it's just like a series of nodes, like this one, that one, and some different type of node. Connect them together, and the single will start the very first one and start to transmit the data to the next one, and finally finish the command you want the computer to do for you. So that's the idea, just like a flow chart, just like a working flow through the node editing and to transmit the command, to transmit the information, and finally finish the execution of your scripting. So that's it. So using this way, we can do many different things. And every color, every shape, it means a different type of class inside Blueprint and also inside C++ language. So anyway, I will show you later about how to use this one. That's not the point for this class today. Let's turn off the Blueprint panel. So for this part, it's about the Blueprint editor. And for this part, you can using this one to create animation. And for this one, it will be the platform for testing. So for example, if you want to do Android, iOS, Linux, or different type of platform, you can change the setting right here. But for now, we just focus on Windows, so you don't have to do anything. And for this part, it's about to simulate the game result. Usually, this one is very powerful and important because if you want to see how your game will work, we have to click this one. Click this button, and you will see that this is the game mode. And right now, we are using the third-person BP, so the camera and the controller has already been settled down in the template. You can just using WASD to control the movement of your character. Press spacebar to jump. And also in this game scene, these blue objects, they have physical simulation. So you can push them, you can jump on them. That's the things. So how can we get out of this simulation? Just press ESC and you can get out. And if you want to turn this one into full screen, press F11 and it will become full screen. Press F11 one more time and you will turn smaller. Press ESC to jump out of this simulation. So now we have go back to the editing mode. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. Right here, that's the outliner. So in the outliner, you can see that right here, it tells you we have 40 actors. We have 40 actors. So in the outliner, it will show you all the things inside your game scene. So if you want to choose in certain object, you can find them right here. And it's a very important panel for you to organize your model. If your model is super complicated, make sure you're using the outliner and create a new folder to contain the different type of object. So that's about the outliner. Let's keep moving forward. Next part, details. Right here, there are two different panels. First one is detail. Second one is world setting. For the world setting, it will be about the setting for the entire game scene. So as far as you can see, including the sky, including the light, and including all the physical simulation, it will be under the world setting. That's the setting for the entire project. And for the detail, right now it's empty. Once you're choosing the target object, the general information of the target object will show up in the detail panel. So you can see that the location is right here. The rotation is right here. And for scale, it shows up right here. And if you want to assign material, if you want to change a different shape of the geometry, you can do that right here. So that's about the detail panel. If you're choosing a different object, it will show the different information. That's something for sure. So that's the things. So now let's move to the bottom part. For this part is dynamic panel. So which means you can click this one and it will show up. Once you click somewhere else, it will disappear again. So if you want to keep this one on your window, just click this one, dock in layout, and it will show up, stay right here. But I think for now, in order to enlarge the windows, I prefer using this way. So first thing, content drawer. That's very important things. Remember, all of your stuff can find here. And also, if you want to go to the location, the real location on your laptop, which stores your Unreal game project, don't forget the things we have said before. For me, I put my file, I put the project path right here in work area, not this one, in education, Unreal, case, RAY games. So this folder, that's the folder I set for put my file. Double click and you can see all the things right here. It will show up right here, including character, level prototyping, starter content, third person. So all the things, it will show up right here. So it means that if you create something new folder right here, it will also show up right here. Okay? So in the content, we have 4 different folders: characters, level prototyping, starter content, and third person. For this one, you can find some interesting resource that we can use. For example, like the different type of basic blueprint. So all these objects, they have it's not a simple 3D model. It also has some coding inside. So if you double click this one, and open up the blueprint setting, and you can see that, well, there is some blueprint node inside. So we can, using this setting to change in the strength of the lighting. You can see that, that's the strength of the lighting. Also, we can change the color. We can change the source radius, which means the light source, the size of the light. So it's a blueprint object. That's the things we can use. And also, there are some existing material that we can use. So, for example, if you want to change this object become a grace, we can just click this one and go to Detail panel, go to General, and go to Material. Right now it's Material 0, so you can change another one. Probably I want to change this one into something like a rock. So you will show up in a different material, just like this. So that's about the content drawer. And usually the organization of the content drawer is very important. That's the job of the programmer, architect, and PM, project managers. And the second thing, the output log. That's also very important. Usually it will show you the arrow and also some dangers reminding or danger warning. It will show up right here. And if there is any error happen inside your project, we have to using the output log to do the command, to find the error, to do the rest of commanding. So finally, CMD, that's another thing. So for now, we can temporarily ignore this one. Let's just click this light and delete this one. Okay, so now that's the basic setting and basic operation inside Unreal. And how can we move the object and scale object and rotate the object? For the example, like this one, press the F key, focus on this slope. I want to make this one higher so that people, our character, can work on the slope and get on the cylinder. How can we do that? First thing, for scaling, we can just use an R key, using R key to scale. Alright, and you can type in the number right here. So for example, if you want to scale up for twice, let's just type in 2. Or you can use in dragging way. Up to you. Alright? And for sure, all the setting is very similar to Blender and Rhino 6. If you want to scale in only Z direction, just choosing this one. If you want to scale in X direction, just choosing the red one. If you want to scale in Y direction, just choosing the green one. But if you want to scale in all the direction, choosing the middle one, and you will scale up in all the direction. And also, there are some special settings inside. You can just simply scale in probably X and Y direction, or move this way, and you can scale in the YZ direction, etc. So just try to play around with the scaling. And for moving, just press W key and you can move. If you want to scale and snap to the target object, try to set the snap size right here and make this one smaller, so it will be more precise than before. So you can snap on target object. But usually, I would say just keep the default setting, it will be fine. Finally, rotations. It will be about E. Press E on your keyboard and you can rotate object. So for the default setting, it will base on 10. All the rotate will be divided into 10 degrees. So if you want a smaller, probably very precise detail, then you can choose a smaller one, probably divisions of 360, or just choosing 5. But for now, I think using 10 is a good option, so I will just keep in 10. And for that one, I think now it's totally fine, so I will keep like this. So let's move the slope to here. Alright. So that's it. So for now, I think the basic part is pretty much done. Now let's start to do some interesting thing. Let's start to create something inside Unreal Engines. So for now we are going to create some new object inside this game scene. I would say please go to here and choose. Right now we are under the selection mode. The things I want to do is to create some landscape. So let's go to this scroll down list and choosing landscape. For now, you will see a green grid come out, but you cannot do anything to this one. That's because right now it's still under preview mode. So we have to define the setting right here and then click create and it will show up the real geometry. So first things, I want to change the material. I'd like to change this one into grays. So let's go scroll down the list and find some green grays material. Probably this one will be fine. And the next thing is how big it will be. So probably I think 6 by 6 grid, it means for every large grid, it will have 6 by 6, 63 by 63 quotes inside. So if you decrease the number, let's see, 7 by 7, you will see that the grid become much more smaller than before. So I want to have more detail, so I will increase this detail. I will increase the number right here. Let's choosing 63 by 63. The second thing is about the sections. For now, every grid only have one section. If you want to have more, you can just create more, and you can see that in this large grid, there are 2 sections. And for every section, it will have 63 by 63. But for now, I think 1 by 1 will be fine. And the number of the component, I would say probably just using 6. By 6. So, pretty much done. Once you finish, click create. It will take for a while, so now you can see that there is a plane showing up. And it will be show up for sure right here under the landscape. So inside this folder, inside this object, there will be many different pieces right here. That's the component of the landscape. So the next things we can do is to draw. Using the sculpting mode, start to draw some mountain. And if you think your brush is too huge, then just scale down. And also we can using erosion to dig in, make the ground lower. Probably we can make some way higher so that our character can go in out. And also some noise, you can make the landscape become a little bit unflattened. Probably this part we can make them smaller. And I wanted the strength become stronger. Okay, so let's assume this is the landscape I want to have. Probably this part can be higher. Alright, so now I have this landscape. So for the next things I want to do is to using foliage. But if you click foliage right now, here is empty, so there's nothing we can use. So before that, we have to go back to Epic Game Launcher. I will open up the Epic Game Launcher again. It's right here. Again, go to Unreal Engines. Go to the market right here. And we can use in the search bar to search for foliage. Click search. And for sure, some of them are very, very expensive. But let's just choosing the free one. So I would choose probably this one. Or maybe, I don't know, just choosing the one you like. So I will click this one and take a look about the detail. And also a very important thing, you have to see the asset, the supporting version. So for these assets, it will support Unreal 4.1 to 4.2 and also support Unreal 5 to Unreal 5.4. So since it's free, then just choosing this one, add to your cart. And once you add that to your cart, then we can just choosing go to pay. Once you choosing go to pay, it will start to downloading your file. And it will take for a while. Once you finish the downloading, it will show up in the game and in your collection. And also your car will be empty. This one will become empty. So let's wait and wait for the resource be downloaded. So right now the downloading has been done. It will show up right here. So I can just simply click this one, add to your project. And my project right now I'm working on is this WS project, WS first class, I think this one. So let's click and add to your project. And you will wait for a while and start to downloading the entire file, put them to your folder. Again, it will take for a while since this one is pretty huge. Let's just wait. Okay, so now we have finished the downloading. So just click this one and put them into your project. So I will choose this one, add to your project. And this one is already inside, so let's just replace that. I think it's fine. Let's wait for a while. Okay, so now let's go back to Unreal Game Engines right here. Once we finish the installation of foliage, you can see your foliage assets inside your folder. So right now, you can see that that's the foliage stuff. Or you can go to take a look about where it is. There is a Pack 03 Landscape Pro. So that's the map we just installed. But since I want to check, actually is another one. I want to find some grays or some different stuff. So let's take a look. Right, anyway, let's just choosing one of them. And once you click one of them, it will show up right here. And for sure, you can choose in multiple objects. So for example, I want a more rock. And before you start to pen, remember to check the button. Check the button. Also, once you click, you can change the size. So let's go to pen, using pen to draw your object. So now you can see, we can use in this way to increase the detail. And if you think it's too much, you don't want so many stones, you want to remove them, remember, you have to choose in the object first. For example, I want to delete this one, but I want to leave this one. So let's uncheck this one and make sure you have chosen the one you want to delete. Then using the lasso, just select them, press delete, and you can delete them. Also, you can go to here, click this button to change the detail information. For example, you want to make them bigger. Then this one, okay, let's go to Pattern and change the size right here. Probably make them bigger. For sure, we can do something interesting thing, like okay, let's make them scaling not a uniform type. So that's also the things we can do. Alright, so it becomes pretty weird and not a good thing. Let's undo that. So for that part, I will just choose in uniform. It will be better and scale down a little bit. So now they become bigger. Okay, so please try to download some free foliage and finish the painting of your landscape. That will be the assignment for this time. And also try get used to how Unreal Game Engine works. Just remember the basic operation is right here. Q, W, E, and R. And for moving the camera, it's just like Maya and Rhinoceros. Using your left mouse button and Auto key, and you can rotate your camera. And using your middle mouse button, you can pan. And for sure, using a middle mouse button with scrolling, and you can zoom in and zoom out. And if you want to change your camera speed, just using this one. So that's how it works. Okay, so that's the whole practice for the first workshop. Try get used to that because for the following class it will be harder. See you next time.